Hello, I'm Max Drake. I want to talk to you about visualizing asset and facilities management data in a way that you get a better overview using maps. This is the second video on the series, and the first one was actually looking at a very small subset of only 3 houses using external data. 2 other things I moved on to in this one was actually looking at housing data by location. So this one here was actually just putting a pin in the map and actually colouring the pins to the location where they are, in this case by suburb. So if I zoom in, there's a cluster of lots of buildings, and clicking on one of the buildings you get some information about it, how many floors it is, which suburb it is. So if I go to a red one, that's in the Karori suburb, and it has 2 views. We can actually go zoom in further and use Street View to actually get a little bit of information on that particular property if we wanted. Actually, I think it's from over there, these ones. So if we just zoom over to there, we get an indication of where the properties are. Boom, boom, boom. Not a problem. This is the difference between this and the previous example was, or we're actually just reading a database. So therefore, all we're doing is we're just pulling that data from an asset database into a database with pins. So if we actually just have a quick look at that database, and I need to go into there and have a look, we will see, or is it going to sulk, that all we've got is a lat and a long here, an address, a lat and a long, and where it is. And I think I use one element somewhere to actually color. I think the coding in my code just says if it's to Arrow, make it color red, if it's Mount Cook, make it color blue, if it's Newlands, make it this color, if it's that. So it's just going through and it's just reading those and coloring the pins again. While this is being sluggish, I'll just zip over to this one here, which is an extension of the other one, except if I actually filter by property, as you see here, this has all got the same property ID. You'll see that the coordinates are slightly shift as far as the lat and the long go, because again, similar to the very first one, I've got lots of assets on these ones. So from the point of view on this, I put a lot more data in, and if we stretch this across here, there's other, it's definitely sluggish, the old database. We're just reading information from that data set anyway. So that's a very simple one, and for these you click on there and they give you an indication of what the property is. You can then use Street View or other information. So that was just the first cut. The second cut was actually to go in and dive in a lot more. Now this, again, I just actually want to demonstrate this. Takes a little while to load, because again it's got equivalent to about 8 times as much data to load from the previous one. So it's reading 8 times as much data, and then it's actually having to display that. There are ways to control that. What you can do is either you do a point and a radius, and it just says from that point only show me information within a certain radius, or you can draw a polyline to say only give me the data in that particular area. And you see again another thing on this one here. A lot of the data is all overlaid on it, on top of everything else, because the data is so rich. It has a lot more information, so you have to zoom in further to actually see the relevance of particular ones. Like all of these pertain to this particular building here. So this would be the window, door frame. Oh, it's a building element. I think wind is, sorry, I've got to check that. So this is a roof element, and this is paint finish. This one here is an external wall, and it's paint finish, and it has remaining years 9.55. Seems a little bit odd, and base life of the element is 10. So pretty much like brand new. This one here, and I think I've coloured the icons by the element, as in windows, doors, roofs, external walls have got greens rather than by their condition. Again, you can put that on there, and again we're overlaying quite a lot of data here, so we're showing the roofs, we're showing the external walls, we're showing the painting, we're showing all of those. Not particularly clean data. I've just grabbed the data, run it through the 9 process just so that I can put all the information together, chucked it on there. You would be able to have, like the first video, a load of buttons. So one, you could actually just say, show me the roofs over my whole data set. Show me just the external walls. Show me just the external wall finishes. Show me the timber windows. Show me aluminium windows. Show me whatever I want. You can actually have buttons to actually control those things so that you can visualize them. This is really just the thing of, can I transfer from a JSON type setup to a database type setup, and it translates reasonably well, and we can convey a lot more information from here onto these data sets as well. So from that point of view, using a database, we can show an awful lot more data. We can show it over a much larger region. We can show it up and down the country or across several countries or whatever you want to do, and we could refine it further. I've only taken it to this point as a proof of concept. It's reasonably good. Sluggish at the moment because it's just trying to read everything. And again, from this point of view, what it's doing as well is it's reading the whole database. It's not suddenly saying, only give me specifics. It's doing everything that's in there. So it's quite a big data set. Well, it's not that big, but because we're trying to generate everything rather than filter, it's actually penalizing us for doing that. Oh, sorry, that was the other point I was trying to make. Again, the map is external. The database is actually, I'm controlling that. So again, the information, you can control who is going to see that information. You can have it in-house or you can have it externally. Again, with databases, you could do a report on those sorts of things. This is really just the visualization point of view of that. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it's been of interest to you. Thank you.